it any different this week when you know you've got a marquee opponent like TCU compared to the first two games?
Definitely a little more energy, a little more juice. Get ready for this game because it's a big-time game.
Obviously, you have the game in Michigan last year, so it's not like you haven't played in a hostile environment. But being the starter, how different is it being the starter?
I won't say it was too much different. Definitely playing at 2 month last year was really high intensity, all week of practice, so that's bringing it into this week.
When did you feel like this was your team, you were running things? At what stage of the two games? I assume you feel like season? That now.
Definitely, this started in camp, and from the very first snap of the Oregon State game, so just taking it and going with it, running with it.
I remember you talking after the Cotton Bowl in the locker room. We were asking you about that. Did you kind of feel then it was your team, like right after JT kind of his eligibility was over? Did you kind of feel then it was your team?
Yeah, for sure. But this reality, you actually get on the field for the very first time. So just getting that first play from there on, it's like it's my offense now. So taking leadership of that.
You're playing so well. What can you do even better out there, Dwayne?
Just being a leader, being field general, just having that intensity about me, just getting better with that every game.
Dwayne, it seems as if the receivers have been getting more open this year. Is that more, would you attest that to the scheme, or are they running better routes? It just seems that you guys are like throwing in rhythm and things are coming in place and just in terms of the space that they have. And B, do you think that it's going to be tougher now this week when you're playing this defense?
I just credit that to our defense. We play really great defensive backs, really great defensive line every day in practice. For me, it's just anticipation and accuracy. I feel like they run the same routes we ran last year. You're doing a really great job getting open, catching the ball, and we're executing plays.
What has surprised you, if anything, about the way the season's gone, about the adjustment to being a starter?
Nothing surprised me yet. We're only 2 games in. I think we're getting ready to let the ball roll, and I'm excited about this week.
And how important has it been for you guys to have the tempo that you had, that quick pace?
Yeah, it helps a lot, just getting the ball set and just making sure defense can get what they need to do on the field, just rolling every play. And I feel like it's for our advantage.
Can you describe your thought process as that's going on, how fast that has to be?
Just making quick decisions. There's a lot of trust in the coach for allowing us to do that. It's a lot that goes into running tempo. And we're doing a great job with that. We do periods in practice of that, and we're executing and getting better at it every day.
Dwayne, how much RPO and play action stuff are you guys doing right now, and do you think that's going to become even more a part of the offense moving forward?
We do a lot of RPOs, a lot of play action passes. That's just part of our offense now. We do that a lot, and we're going to keep building on it.
How have you seen it work? Like, what's the effectiveness of that through the first 2 games?
It really has to do with our offensive line, our running backs. You have to respect the run, and it just opens up the passing game that much more.
Dwayne, to go back to the spring, how much did that battle with Joe, and we kept hearing how close it was.
Right.
I mean, how much did that help you to prepare for this and that level of competition to have that going in March and April?
Definitely, I compete with Joe, even compete when JT was here. Every day you want to go out there like you're the starter, be the guy. And just having that opportunity since day one here at Ohio State, everyone is here just as good as you, if not better. So just competing every day.
What were your emotions like when he decided to transfer? I mean, it seemed like you guys got pretty close, and everybody in the quarterback room.
Yeah,
but also you were going to be the starting quarterback officially at that point. What did you think then?
I mean, it's hard. Only one guy plays at quarterback. You want to, be really good teammates with everyone, but got to compete at the same time. But just having Joe leave, he's a really good friend of mine. Love him very much, and I'm excited for him at LSU. It was a really hard decision for him, but I'm really happy for him.
Dwayne, you've looked so comfortable so far. Would you have been this comfortable, this ready, if for some reason you had been starting last year, or was there something about the practice last year, the spring, this offseason that helped you get ready even more, or do you think you could have done pretty much this a year ago?
I don't know, it's pretty tough to think about. Just now preparing to be the starter is a little different than wanting to be the guy last year. Just having an opportunity, I would say, Wisconsin last year was the first week I actually prepared to be a starter, and just having Coach Day, having Coach Meyer definitely would have helped me prepare last year if I was playing, but just wasn't playing a lot last year.
Dwayne, do you view this game playing national TV primetime as an opportunity for you and this team to make a statement?
I definitely think that we take that very seriously. And every day in practice, Isaiah, Prince, and Terry, and Paris, and Johnny emphasize how big this game is. And now it's our first really, key game of the season. We have a lot of key games in order to go do what we want to do for the national championship this year, and this is only one of them.
What about for you as an individual? Like, we know you played in the Michigan game, and that's obviously a big game, but this is Saturday night, and people are intrigued by you now with how you played the first 2 games. If you play well against TCU on ABC, that's going to really sort of enhance your brand a little bit. Do you have any thoughts on what it might mean for you to have a good performance on Saturday night?
I really haven't thought about that. The biggest thing for me is just go win the game, and that's all I want to do.
This is your
kind of a forward thinker with everything when it comes to when you were a backup, you always thought about the starter. When you were a child, you always thought about coming here. When you start seeing your name popping up on Heisman talks and NFL discussions and stuff, do you ever think about stuff like that into the future? Because it seems like that's always kind of been the way your mind works. And, you know, I know you're only 2 games into this, but is that something that you ever think about or anything?
For me, I've always been an ambitious person, so I've always put my dreams on paper and I write them down and I achieve them. So, you know, the goal is to take one day at a time, one game at a time, you know, but eventually the dream wants to be in the NFL. But right now I'm at Ohio State. I'm going to, you know.
What's written down on that paper right now?
Well, right now it's the one TCU, so that's what we're going to do.
How much
This
fun
is
are you
Urban's.
having?
A lot of fun. It's been
Dwayne.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, just could you kind of elaborate on just, now this is what you dreamed of. And
Yeah.
here you are, you've gotten off to a great start, and now you've got this showcase game. I mean, just what's kind of going through your mind these days?
Honestly, it's just school, dogs, and girlfriend, family. I mean, I really let that football stuff get to my head like that. Just one practice at a time, one game at a time. That's all I'm thinking about.
Hey, Dwayne,
Dwayne, is there
your wide
anything-
receivers all seem very unselfish, but there are so many of them. Are some of them like taking you out to dinner or holding the door open for you or anything like that?
I would say I got a good relationship with all my receivers, including, you know, O-line, running backs, tight ends, even some defensive people. We have our fair share of, you know, arrangements like, you know, bowling, movies, dinner, whatever we might do. But they all do different things to try to, you know, be on the good side.
Dwayne, is there anything about TCU's defense that really jumps out to you? Something you really got to prepare for this week?
Definitely just exotic looks from first down, second down, third down, a lot of different stuff. I think they do a really good job. They're a really experienced team, and we're getting ready for them.
Dwayne, this is
Last question.
this is Urban's second week back now at the helm, at least as far as practices are concerned. Has there been a different feel this week as opposed to, you know, before when he wasn't even allowed to you know, man the practices, and especially because this is TCU week and such a big game?
I feel like Coach A's done a great job trying to keep Coach Meyer's intensity in practice. You know, it's different not having him around, but now that he's here, even when we were playing Rutgers, it was the same, you know, intensity as it is playing TCU. So it's great having him on the sideline. You know, that presence is definitely needed when you go play a big-time game, and I'm glad he's back.
Dwayne, I'm going to squeeze one last one in on one of your guys. Coach Day made a point after the Oregon State game when Isaiah Prince hustled and made the tackle after the pick. You were hustling on that play too. But did the offense make note of that? Like when a big guy like that is going hard to try to make a play?
Yeah, I mean, Zay's really athletic, and just to see him go out there, show that effort on that play, you know, it shows a lot about his character, his effort for trying to be a leader for this offense and his team. And we definitely make a lot of key emphasis on a lot of effort plays here. So that's our mantra.
Dwayne, when you were that little kid running around with that headband on, you're dreaming of big dreams and stuff. Is this the kind of game you were dreaming of playing in? I mean, prime time, intersectional match, you guys versus Texas Christian. I mean, how does this fit in that dream?
That definitely fits a lot. Just having the opportunity to go play on, you know, Saturday night, ESPN, you know, dream come true. Just playing in that Team of North game last year is a dream come true. Every game is a dream come true for me. Just, you know, being able to go out there and be a starter for, you know, my dream school. So I take every game like it's my last.
You seem to be very calm.
Last question,
Does
right
anything phase you? Does anything kind of get you riled up?
I like to think no. Probably the biggest thing is homework. Having to take my dogs out and pick their, you know, stuff up.
That's what gets you riled
That gets
up?
me pretty riled up.
What kind of dogs?
I got 2 Yorkies and a Doberman.
Oh, I was going to say, that's not very big until you said the Doberman.
Doberman's about as big as Isaiah, so you can think about that one.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about what you're picking up.
Great.
Dwayne, thank you very
They
much.
have scented bags for that.
I mean, the poop does it. It smells.
I know,
It's bad.
but they have bags that you can use that are scented, and it masks that a little bit.